day, everyone. I'm Micaela and I will be discussing the typical and atypical development. So, the development of a child usually follows a predictable pattern. The term developmental milestone refers to a set of skills and abilities that can be observed to assess a child's development. Examples of these are babbling, sitting, and following directions. However, each child is unique. As a result, not everyone reaches a milestone at the same time, which is why the terms typical and atypical development are used. So, before we go into detail about what makes a child's development typical or atypical, let's first define the two terms. So, typical development refers to the normal progression where children grow by acquiring knowledge, skills, and behavior called developmental milestone at a certain time frame. And atypical development is a term used when development does not follow the normal course. More so, a child is developing atypically when he or she reaches a milestone earlier or later than other children his or her age. So, in typical development, this is the natural or the normal flow of children's development, while an atypical development is a developmental child does not follow the expected pattern. A child is developing atypically if nauna or nalate hiya pag reaching milestone kesa sa ibang mga bata iya age. So there is no clear way to identify if a child is developing typically or atypically. However, there are three commonly accepted child development principles that one should look into. The first one is rate of development differs among children. Every children develops at his or her own rate and at his or her own way. The next one is development occurs in a relatively orderly process, with later abilities, skills, and knowledge building on those already acquired. The order in which children learn is more essential than when they attain milestone. For example, babies must first roll over before they can sit or crawl, and crawling is an important developmental step toward walking. So, there are two patterns in this. The first one is the proximodistal pattern, where the development proceeds from the center of the body outward, and the second one is the cephalocaudal pattern, where a development liwat is not proceed from the head downward. So the third principle is development takes place gradually. A child won't develop overnight, and the process of development is gradual. So that's all. Thank you for listening.